Alright, we are good.
Captain's log, stardate 15.87352.
Speaking of, what is the date
I think
today?
I'm in love with Spock.
It's something of December.
What?
Today's the 10th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Alright, there you go. 10th of December.
14 days till Christmas, bitches.
Christmas bitches. They come in 14 days.
Fucking
guys.
yeah, I'd love Christmas bitches. Tiff, can we get some Christmas bitches?
Oh, they're already on order.
Wait, as in like...
Russian mail
okay.
order Christmas
Russian, I was
bitches.
thinking Russian Christmas bitches.
Wait. When you say they're already on mail order, is it that you've already ordered them and they're coming for Christmas?
They're already coming for Christmas.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say that maybe they were just out of stock for Christmas bitches and, you know, they're mail...
No. What
Wait.
They take the Easter bitches, take all the money, and put the Christmas hat on.
Ah, see,
Easter
At this point, you'd be best off using the Halloween bitches and just take off the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Or
No.
put a Christmas hat on the pumpkin.
No.
same time.
I think what happens is they have a rotating thing because so the pumpkin bitches they take the shift off and they become the Valentine's bitches.
Ah, okay.
See, right.
See,
Welcome
we're
to
12 minutes
Circle
into this
Kick, podcast 10.
Daniel had a plot. We've
No
lost
one.
it.
Yeah. Labor Day bitches. No one knows what to do about dressing up as that.
They don't wear white.
They just don't wear white.
They just dress casually.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, I just noticed Tiff made a double entendre there. She says they're coming for Christmas.
I got it, but we're being recorded, so I didn't want to try and point it out too much.
But isn't that the point? It's like we just record shit and...
I didn't want to lead with it. It's what you build up to.
Well, yeah, but you know, we were on the vinegar strokes of the previous conversation, so it's kind of like a climax / rolled into the new thing.
And I should have started recording at the start.
Did you? Hello, welcome back to podcast number 10. It's
Welcome.
been a while since we've done this, so yeah.
Mainly because Battlefield Earth kicked our ass so hard. I'm surprised that after today's movie, I even have the mental faculties to talk.
I bribed you with fucking a cheeseburger.
Double quarter pounder, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's what
So
it was.
I can leave?
Daniel fed me, and that's why I'm able to sit here and give my expert opinion today.
All right.
What are we talking about?
Well, the year is about to finish.
2016.
2016.
We'll miss you.
Will this be up before the end of the year?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Do you have time off work?
By time off work, you mean
Calling in
am
sick?
I working on the weekends? Then no, I'm not working on the weekends.
So either way, Daniel will have
I'll have
Jack
this-
Frost 2, Electric Boogaloo, and this podcast out.
Yes, although Jack Frost is going to come out before this.
It's going to freak out people when you lose your beard and grow it back one day.
Yeah.
Fuck, you are right. Daniel, you didn't plan for this. You did not.
I didn't tell
Continuity issues.
I didn't.
See, no, you know what the best part is? By the time we do the next video, I would have grown back enough of it.
Oh, you know what'd be great? If you guys wore like the same shirts from like the previous one, I could skip and jump some of the footage from previous ones where you had a beard, and then
No
skip
beard.
to current one where you had no beard.
I don't remember what I wore last time.
So yeah, for anyone
yeah.
for anyone who didn't notice it from the Jack Frost movie, which should have been out maybe 2 weeks ago before this one, I shaved my beard.
Why did you shave your beard?
I just wanted to.
Was
Like-
it a Britney Spears style meltdown?
No, that's the funny thing. It was more a case of
I want to be
I was-
pretty. I'm pretty.
no. I was just hot and sweaty, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to feel clean.
So it is
That's
a
it.
Britney Spears thing.
No,
That's what she was saying. I should think.
I'm hot and
I'm
sweaty.
hot and sweaty.
I just want to feel clean.
No,
I just want to be
I
clean.
just want to be clean again. No. Look, to be honest, I've been thinking about it for a while now, for at least the last 6 months or more. And just one day after having moved, I was like, fuck it. I just had a shower, and I don't want to have this clump of hair there, so I just...
Fair enough.
2 hours later, I had a...
Surprise Tiff?
Oh, hell yes. The best thing about Tiff is when she plays Destiny, she just goes into some sort of trance. So she has no idea what's happening in the world around her. So it was great, because I was able to walk in when she was at the end of a raid, and she just, like, freaked out. It was amazing. See, she doesn't even hear us right now.
No, I can hear you.
You just don't care.
Choosing to ignore you.
Ah. But yeah, it was amazing.
All right. Well, this year has been pretty up and down for I think all of us. It's almost to a close. One thing I've been wanting to just look back at is some of the good and some of the bad we've both watched and played.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm more looking towards the.
I thought it was a hair. Okay, it was right there. I thought it was a hair. It turns out it wasn't.
Okay, don't touch my stuff, please. No, stop it.
Wow.
I know it's so crisp.
I know, but it's not just that. It's the fact that that feels smooth and weird. Excuse me.
No. All right. So one thing that I've been kind of looking back at is some of the crap that I've seen
Mm-hmm.
and some of the good that I've seen.
Okay.
I'm like, for example, movies. I'm kind of torn between what was the worst movie I've seen and what has actually been the best movie I have seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna go with on a high note and say probably the most surprising movie I've seen, and it's really awesome, is a movie that no one else has seen. Have any of you heard of the movie Search of the Wilder People?
No.
Title wise, it sounds, but it's something that I would have seen in passing.
It is
Never watched
it's
it.
It's a New Zealand movie, independent movie with Sam Neill in it. Holy shit, is it good! It's just I'll bring it one day and I'll make you guys watch it.
Is it just footage of Sam Neill just walking around the New Zealand wilderness?
It's respliced Event Horizon.
Yeah, and it just kind of comes across, and you just see dinosaurs in the background, and those are the Wilder people.
It's got a very Wes Anderson feel kind of to it, especially with some of the cuts.
Okay.
But basically, the story is troubled New Zealander, early teen,
Mm-hmm.
is in like an orphanage thing, going from one family to another
Mm-hmm.
by some sort of agency.
Mhm.
The last house that they could actually do before actually, you know what? After this, we were just going to go back to juvie, send you to juvie because no one else wants you.
Yeah.
And
Was the
which
kid
is-
that much of a shit?
they actually go through all the shit that the kid's done. Like, you know, he sets fire to shit, graffitis on stuff, pees on stuff, blah 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 blah. And the supercuts is freaking awesome.
Does he set fire to his pee?
Probably.
Okay.
Um,
Does he graffiti on his fire?
he.
Does he set fire to his graffiti?
I think
and then
he
pee on it?
stole a car and then set fire to the car afterwards.
And then he pees on it?
Maybe.
Okay. I like this movie already.
Because why not?
Slow
Family
motion footage
is
of this for an hour and a half.
family is Sam Neill and very 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 loving, you know, motherly woman. Sam Neill's very very cold.
So Sam Neill's a
Sam Neill
very,
is a
very loving woman. Yeah.
motherly woman.
yeah.
That's the way it sounded, man.
She dies, and
Mhm.
it's basically them two on the run from the police because through
Mhm.
what would you call it? Misinterpretation. They think Sam Neill's a pedo for a series of things. So they're kind of like on the run, and again, New Zealand wilderness is
Mhm.
particularly awesome, actually.
Yeah.
And
So I can imagine a lot of establishing shots, right? Lots of big pan stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Many
Cool.
giant eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles in New Zealand.
Oh,
Are they
the Lord of the Rings reference.
Oh, cool.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay,
CG
just got
eagles, as far as the eye can see.
It's
That's
alright.
probably the most surprising movie for me. I loved it. Won a bunch of shit. Yeah, I just couldn't get enough of it. I was recommended by Rod, and I just kept on palming off. Then I had like two hours to burn. Watched it. God damn it, it is so awesome. The writing is impeccable.
Mhm.
That's probably my top one. It was a struggle between that and Spotlight.
Mhm.
I didn't like Spotlight.
I did.
You
not
have to be
mind it.
too. You have to be too into the Catholic and the law system to understand the film. You would know it because you're.
Yeah,
it didn't. It just lost me. It was too convoluted for
Yeah,
anyone
if-
outside the Catholic.
If you didn't get the context, then it would be.
To me,
a
I'm
little
not.
bit too
I'm not
jumbly, I'd
that
imagine.
intricate with American law, and I'm not that intricate with Catholicism. So to me, it wasn't my target audience. But I feel like if you knew a lot about either of those, it would be alright.
Yeah,
It still wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It just lost me a little bit.
yeah.
Mm.
Michael Keaton was good in it,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
There were some good performances
and
all
Mark
around.
Ruffalo.
but-
Holy hell, he was good. But yeah, Search of the Wilder People. Definitely highly recommend it. I'll bring it next time.
So Spotlight. Well, that just come out in
It's
the
a true-
movies? Or,
true-
I never heard
It's
of
a
it.
true
the-
story about the people who tried to bring the stories to light regarding the priests and the little
it's a
boys
newspaper
and
company.
the rape stories and stuff,
That's
and all the
essentially
obstacles they faced.
that's essentially what happened. What about we're looking 10 to 15 years ago?
yes,
wasn't it?
it's set.
All
then,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Blow the
based
lid
on
off the whole
a group of
conspiracy.
journalists cracking down.
I remember
on-
because here in Australia they had that whole thing with was it Archbishop Pell and
Well,
went
actually,
worldwide.
at the end of it, it'll
Yeah,
actually
they show
give
you
you a
the
list
whole-
of all the places that have actually received reports.
Yep.
Adelaide was there. We were like Sydney was there. All these places around the world where
I remember
Things
because
that-
South
or at least
Park.
suspected of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember because South Park did a fantastic episode of that. It was where Satan has his sweet 16 birthday, and all the Catholic priests are trying to find a way into the birthday party, and they've all got young little boys on leashes, and it's like, well, that's biting social commentary as always. I love it.
yeah.
This
All
didn't focus as much on what actually happened as if it was more about the obstacles they faced in getting the story out there
Okay.
Mm.
and how no one wanted to talk about it or deal with it.
It was all swept under the rug.
Yeah.
No one wanted
Yeah.
to. Yeah, I get you. Okay. I
Alright.
didn't
It was
even
a
when,
good
when did that
movie.
come
It
out?
was a good movie.
It wouldn't make my top because of the whole, like, it was very heavily.
Yeah, like I knew a lot about the whole thing prior to this, so
Yeah. And the legal loopholes that they used to get shit in was a bit over my head as well. I'm like, okay, I
Yeah,
don't really know
I-
your law, so.
yeah. But all around, yeah, I recommend that one as well. Aaron, your best movie of this year?
Well, there was like 4 that I want to do, but I feel like that might steal all of Fabian's thunder.
No. By all means, go ahead because I have nothing. I mean,
Okay.
I pretty much
Wow, you are so...
the only wait, hold on. No, things have really changed this last year for me because I used to watch a lot of movies, and I mean, I'm fairly well versed in a lot of the good stuff. But this year, I've found that I've been watching more TV shows, mainly anime, because I was watching a lot of actual. Like I was watching True Detective last year. I was watching, really sticking to Arrow and Flash and all that other stuff. But I've focused so much on anime this year to the detriment of other stuff. And the only time I've gone out to watch a new movie has pretty much been when a new Marvel movie rocks up.
True, but at the same time, like Enter the Wilder People, I did not see that at the cinemas.
Yeah, no, but I'm actually saying that I don't even take the time in my day-to-day life to just say, hey, I've got Netflix, let's watch a movie, or let's pull something off the shelf. I wouldn't have seen anything new this year. The only things I would have seen are things I've already seen my whole life, so I can't really say,
All right, so
Hey, this
Hateful
is-
Eight doesn't make that.
oh shit, I forgot I watched
You
Hateful Eight this
Jerk,
year.
I was hoping, like, really, you haven't seen this?
I completely
showed you
forgot
that
about
this year.
that. And what was the other movie you showed us apart from Hateful Eight?
I showed you Lego Movie, I showed you Book of Life. I showed
Book of
you
Life was really good as well.
That.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's another one somewhere out there. But I
There
can't-
was another... Wait,
Lego movie.
what was that?
Lego movie.
She just said that just 2
Yeah.
seconds ago. No. I think I remember one of the really, really good movies that I saw this year. So, aside from the Marvel movies, because I loved Winter Soldier.
I mean, Civil War.
That's
You mean
the
Civil
one.
War? Like,
Winter Soldier was
that's
like 4 years
Fuck
ago.
you both. Okay, I meant Civil War. I loved Civil War, and I really got a kick out of Doctor Strange. There was another Marvel
Doctor Strange
movie
was good.
somewhere in the mix. It was just Civil War and Doctor Strange. this
Deadpool?
year.
Deadpool did come out this year.
Deadpool was also really... Wow, I'm completely
You
forgetting.
forgot
stuff.
this year's been fucking good for movies, man.
I'm just got a really bad long-term memory now.
And you're like, oh yeah, I've seen all these.
I have. I did watch them all this year. But I'm thinking one of the better movies that I really liked was Creed.
Was that this year? But
Yeah, that was this
That
year.
was this year,
Was
yeah.
it this year?
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
as soon as he said Hateful Eight, I was like, what was the other? Oh, that's right. I also got Creed.
'cause
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
Creed was a pretty good return to form because the way I saw it was like, I mean, I don't care what people say. I loved Rocky 4, but it always goes down. Rocky 5 was always this massive fucking crater where the series landed, and then they come to Rocky Balboa, which was an improvement, but it wasn't Rocky 4. And then Creed just kind of takes the whole series, brings it in, gives it this good heart that it had in the first 2 movies, and puts it out there in a modern day setting. And I'm like, you know what? I synced with that movie. That
Yeah,
was,
I agree.
That was a good movie. And yes, Daniel did rock around in my place with Hateful Eight because unfortunately I wanted to see that one in the cinemas. Never did. What a fucking tense night that was watching that movie. He'd already seen it. Tiff and I were sitting there watching it. That was awesome. But yeah, I'd have to say Creed and Hateful Eight were probably 2 of the better ones that I've seen. Yeah, Yeah, and Book of Life was also pretty good, but that was
Yeah.
another one you mentioned.
All right.
Anyway, Aaron, go ahead.
What's
on.
your best?
Okay, I reckon that the best one I've seen this year is Doctor Strange. It added something new to the Marvel. Like, Civil War was good, but it was something they'd been building up to for months, and I kind of expected it at least to be okay. It had established characters that I already liked, but Doctor Strange took me on a new journey in a new world with a new character, and I really enjoyed the experience.
I'm very surprised how well Marvel pulled off magic in the universe that they've created.
It fits. You don't even question it.
Yeah. I questioned it plenty of times before, but then after I was like, it fits right in.
I don't know who it was that did a video on this, where they did actually do an in-depth explanation of Doctor Strange and the magic. Because, I mean, we all know, that's right, I think it was Game Theorist that did it. We all know how Thor has that whole, it's so technologically advanced, it's magical. Well, they actually go and they dissect it mathematically, and most of the imagery is like fractal-based imagery and stuff like that, and that's how it's all working. So it's magic, but it's so far ahead, it's practically science. And I'm like, I'd give it a watch if you ever want to see it. It was definitely something that I found quite amazing.
I wanted to give some special mentions to some films as well. I really, really liked Star Trek Beyond. I did not expect to like it because I didn't like Into Darkness. I thought it was...
I really want to see Beyond. I've heard good things.
It was good.
That's right.
I was finally remembering that Star Trek wasn't always in the fucking ship. Some of it, they went down to the planet. The majority of it, they were on the planet.
At first, I did not like the bad guy until later.
Without saying...
Type B bad guy.
He seemed very typical, but he becomes very untypical.
And then, hopefully, thank God they fleshed him out a little bit, and they're like, oh shit, I got me a good villain here.
When the Star Trek universe reboot started, I didn't get into it, so I didn't watch the first one. Someone took me to see Into Darkness, and I thought, wow, that was pretty good. But then again, hadn't seen the first one, didn't know anything. I've heard nothing but good stuff about Beyond, and then recently a friend came over and she showed Tiff and I the first Star Trek movie.
First one's pretty good.
That was actually really good. And then
I didn't like Khan because it was just a derivative rip-off of the previous Khan movie with Benedict Cumberbatch is not threatening. I don't know, I like him as a good guy, but they keep trying to make him the bad guy, and I don't find him threatening. And I find like at any second he could go, actually, I'm being a bit rude here. Let me make you a cup of tea.
And that's why he was good in Doctor Strange.
Every time he tries to be menacing, do you always think of like an order?
I watched too much Sherlock to see him as menacing in Khan.
I still haven't seen Sherlock. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Each episode's like an hour and a half. It's like a movie, and there's only 3 episodes per season.
That sounds good. Well, Tiff likes it. I know that much. She's always said it's really amazing.
Watson makes that though.
I really want to see Beyond, but I didn't mind Into Darkness. But again,
that was your first.
That was the
Depth into
first
the World.
one that
To
I
me,
said.
It was more of the same from the first one.
Now,
plus a script that was already pretty much written for them.
Yeah. Well, see, now that I've gone and seen the first one, I think that first one was better. And now I've been hearing nothing but great stuff for Beyond, so I want to see that.
I think Beyond's more enjoyable than the first one still.
I think so too, actually.
I've rewatched it again. We got it, and the little model ships and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that Deadpool was a great experience as well. I didn't expect to
owned Beyond, I think.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He was awesome.
But J-Lo, the new character, was probably what.
Yeah, she was cool.
Deadpool had probably some of the funniest writing I've seen in a movie this year.
I actually ended up with my expectations lowered for Deadpool because I truly and honestly believed that I had seen the best of the movie in the trailer. That there was too many trailers, that they were revealing so much of the fucking movie.
It wasn't even close.
But it's still, because it's only 1% of the jokes, of the humor in the movie, it still makes for a damn good movie.
Yeah, I was kind of like
Civil War, of course.
Yeah. I think we all, which is weird because we don't normally unanimously
agree with all the popular films this year.
Yeah, well, the thing is, normally the popular films is what divides us. It's like some people are like, it's okay, no, I hated it, well, I really liked it, but we all unanimously went, Doctor Strange is awesome, Civil War is fucking fantastic, we all love Deadpool.
Although, that being said, Doctor Strange, the major show was the visuals.
Oh, yeah.
It was just probably one of the best looking movies I've ever seen.
And there wasn't as much humor, but the humor in it was good too.
Yeah.
When they did, it was it was subtle and and you wouldn't expect it. Just comes out of left field and
like it. I love the fact
Ant-Man
that
and Deadpool and Civil War, you came to expect it from certain characters,
Yes.
and when they say it, it's
like-
funny because it's funny. This was funny because it was curveballs.
Yeah. I mean, we all saw that joke with the Shambhala password for the Wi-Fi, and that was in the
Trailer,
trailer.
yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it to go beyond that, but there were some great moments there that really make you go, "Oh wow, that's clever, that's funny."
I
Half
particularly
the audience was
liked.
pissing themselves laughing at certain jokes.
I know.
I particularly liked, and I think this is. You may agree, Aaron, because you know a lot more about Doctor Strange than I do.
Not much. I've watched like one anime movie more than everybody else.
Fair enough. In that case, you know no shit. Or at least a little
We
bit
were
more
like
than I
looking
do.
up his villains before we went in because we
Yeah.
didn't really know who they were.
See, the only
None of
villain-
the main ones come in.
The only villain that I really thought, oh, maybe Shumagorath. It's a big, giant eyeball tentacles. You know,
Ah.
it kind of looks like a beholder from D&D. But then I thought when they brought out Dormammu, I was like, oh shit, that's right.
really
Dormammu.
liked how he got defeated.
Yeah, that was cool.
I
That-
really liked
That was one of his main points. He goes,
especially because
outsmarted
every
him.
fucking thing I've seen is nothing but brute force.
There's a cat here.
Yep.
Look into the camera. That there.
no, don't smell my finger, cat. All right, well, so we've had our podcast crashed by a cat.
Yeah. So worst movies.
You know what? You start off first.
Well, this is going to be a good list. Here we go.
Take a seat.
Let
Kat.
me
Take
let
a
me
seat.
sit back. I'll just.
Actually, I haven't hated as many movies as I'd like this I've liked this year.
Mhm.
But the three that stood out for me, obviously Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, that was up there.
I really need to see that.
Fucking terrible.
No, don't.
No
don't-
redeeming
do yourself-
qualities.
Do
Not
yourself
even-
a favor. Don't do it.
Also, Jason Bourne.
See, I've never seen any of the Bourne
I
I,
films.
haven't
liked the
seen
other
that.
the other Bourne movies, not Legacy. That was stupid.
Born Ultimatum was kind of pushing it.
Was pushing it, but that was
Yeah.
still alright. It was enjoyable. This one, it's Bourne, but his motivations make less sense and less happens. It's just fucking boring. So
Bourne-
incredibly
Bourne
boring. Yeah.
Born.
It was terrible.
Boring.
Like when I went to New Zealand and we planned to watch 2 movies while we were over there, just for something to do on nights when we didn't have like we were getting into town. We're only there overnight. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, fair enough.
So the 2 movies I planned to see were Suicide Squad and Bourne. The one which would disappoint me, I did not expect to be Bourne. I expected that to be okay and Suicide Squad to be terrible. But I ended up going Suicide Squad wasn't bad. It was decent
Mm.
enough watch.
Hmm.
Wasn't amazing. Same with
Yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse. It was a good watch, but wouldn't be one of those movies I'd put on every sick day or rant about for 4 hours about how much I hate it.
Yeah.
But just
It's a very fine line with you. It's like I either rant about it
pretty much.
for 4 hours or it's kind of
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah. Keeps it
And
in toes.
the other one we only watched the other day was fucking Now You See Me Too.
See, I was curious about that because I
I
didn't
love
mind
the first one, yeah, but the second one, it's pretty much the same thing, but the tricks are less believable because they're just pretty much special effects now. You don't even like the suspension of belief is too high for you to believe that shit's actually happening.
Mhm.
And the first one
There's
already
nothing
set a high
at
bar.
stake. The whole movie it's basically this heist because they got told to do a heist.
Because at least last time we know that they all got tricked into it. You know, like
and they were
there was-
trying
to clear their name. There
all
was
of the movie was something
I-
about this mythical society called the Eye in this new one, and it just nothing happened. It was just boring, and it was really mundane. And I was supposed to believe that Harry Potter was a villain.
Wait, Daniel Radcliffe was in it?
Daniel Radcliffe's
is in it, and he's
Fuck.
not good.
Oh man.
And one of the other villains is Woody Harrelson pretending to be his twin. And he does an atrocious job at it.
Yeah.
It has about 12% on IMDb, and I don't think it deserves that.
Oh,
I also don't think that Batman vs Superman deserves the 27% that it has.
it has 27.
Yeah, it should have 0.
Oh shit!
Which is only just slightly higher than what Ghostbusters got, if I remember. I think Ghostbusters.
That was my worst film of this year.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Oh
no!
See, I wanted to
I-
see it. I wanted to bring it in, get my hands on it, bring it in so we could watch it
Now,
for a BMI, and I haven't had the chance to
Just
yet.
what
in
happened to
case.
Just time. It's just like I said, everything this last
Now,
month
I'm
and a half.
going to say
is
this to
all
the
over
camera.
place.
Just in case there's a group of people who want to get antsy with me saying I did not like the new Ghostbusters let's get one thing clear. It's not the cast, even though Jenny McCarthy's meh. It's not the cast I have a problem with.
Melissa
It's the
McCartney.
Melissa McCarthy?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Wait.
That's how unmemorable the cast was.
Yeah.
You can't
McCartney
remember-
chick.
Linda
big one.
McCartney. When
That's
Linda
the
McCartney
Beatles'
gets
wife.
involved, you know, I'm sorry.
The big one.
The fat lady.
Okay, now you've earned the ire of
Alright,
some people.
now you can rant at me. My problem is with the direction. The director, actually. I do not like him. He's a jerk. The pacing was all off. The cuts were fucking weird. Everything was uber... Like, the CGI I was kind of expecting. You can't really do much. People weren't... Like, when they were saying, oh, it's basically... what's it called? Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. It is Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy, except Eddie Murphy's not there. Because he's got better things to do.
So it's Haunted Mansion without Eddie Murphy.
It's Haunted Mansion without Eddie Murphy.
It's the Green Lantern.
With it's just all over the place. It really is. And some of the jokes is just poorly written. And it's the whole one thing they were really pushing is the whole awkward comedy. Do you know what that is?
I know the awkward comedy thing. I've seen
Awkward
it.
comedy where, like, I don't know, someone will walk into a door like, oh, silly me, and they go through.
Yeah.
Slapstick.
No. You know where someone feels
Oh, the
awkward or
dork.
slightly embarrassed by what they've done.
Yeah.
It's like you walk in there, and it's like, oh dear me, oh my.
I can swim in that shit throughout the whole movie. It was everywhere.
And what was your worst movie?
Well, see, the problem
Didn't
is
see any movies
I
this
didn't
year.
really see much this
Alright,
year.
then
Until we
remind
point
me of
them
all
out
the
to you,
terrible
in which case
movies
it's,
you've
oh
seen this
yeah, I
year.
saw that.
Okay, well, see, the thing is, like I don't know, I just don't look. If you were to ask me games I've played this year, then that's a much
That's
easier
next.
list for me to do.
Let's do that.
You know, but when it comes to movies, unless you were to say, "Hey, man, I've watched this show and I fucking loved it," or this show and I hated it, or you know, it doesn't really gel with me. It seems kind of passing, and I've completely forgotten about Creed until you mentioned it. But
And Hateful Eight until I mentioned it.
yeah, that's true, and that was actually really nice. But as far as bad movies go, I have not seen enough because I keep thinking Doctor Strange and Civil War, and they were just really good. So Suicide Squad maybe, because it was meh at best. I didn't
It was very average.
I didn't hate it, but it wasn't. It didn't set my world on fire. You know, I mean. Nah, I mean that's all I can think of right now. I mean, what other movies have come out so that I can, you know, share some hate with you guys?
Trolls.
Haven't seen it.
Isn't that even? I don't even think that's out yet.
Oh, I thought they came out.
Is it?
See, I really wanted to see Sausage Party. I didn't see Sausage Party. So
Did any of you guys end up watching that second Independence Day movie? I didn't see it, but it looks terrible.
No.
No.
I was
I
given
wanted
the
to see
option
it.
of either that or Beyond, and I just went Beyond.
Good choice.
Immediately.
All right. Again, so what bad movies have there
We're
been?
naming them.
Yeah, we're naming them.
Well, like, but you just said Beyond, and Beyond was on your good movies list.
No, that's
No,
what
we
you said.
ju-
You got a choice of.
Oh, that
Wow,
one.
your memory is fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's funny. I used to be really good with memory stuff, and now my mind is just.
Do you remember that the cat's on the table?
Well, I don't have to remember it because I can see that. But yeah, no. Unfortunately, I didn't see Trolls. I didn't see the one that you just mentioned that literally was just. I just forgot.
Independence Day 2.
That's the other one.
Now You See Me, Jason Bourne, Batman vs.
Haven't
Superman.
seen any of those.
Did Spectre come out this year? No, that was December last year. That was fucking
December
terrible
last
too.
year, which you haven't seen yet.
No, I haven't seen it either. I'm really behind on movies. It's
Yeah.
like, even if I was to get a stack of them.
It's like he only watches good ones.
Ah,
Look at that. I have taste.
Just managed to. You're just being cheap, and so anything that's not amazing.
yeah.
Either that or, you know.
Or
just
unless we
something-
force you to watch it, like how I have to force you to watch Hateful Eight.
Was Mad Max this year?
No, Fury Road
No,
was
that
last
was
year.
last year.
Okay.
And that was actually
That was
really
good
good.
too.
I enjoyed
Mm.
that.
Oh, man.
I had one person hate on it, and I was like, wow. I mean, it's not beyond Thunderdome levels
Everybody
of shit.
that hates on it is literally just saying it's just a big car chase, and I'm like, I don't see how that's an objection.
See, when it comes
yes.
to
Yeah, like,
when it
I
comes to
agree.
stuff like that, the first thing I say to people is, "What were you expecting?"
Yes.
going into this
It's like
movie.
back in the day when people used to knock on Heavenly Sword. They're like, it's just God of War with a chick. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
It's God of War
With a chick.
Yeah.
It's like,
The
what
main
were you expecting?
protagonist
And a decent-
is attractive.
And a really good story.
Yeah.
Mm. All right. Well,
know.
I
It's a
can't.
game.
think
You
of
know
that.
what? People are stupid.
Yeah, let's move on to games. Games is good.
Wait, did we do Daniel's worst movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah,
It's a new Ghostbusters.
See, I still want to see it mainly because I just, you know how everyone has that one moment in their life, or that one moment every year where they just go, "Fuck it, I'm about ready to go." That's my Ghostbusters right now.
We watched Taken 3 a few 2-3 weeks back. It's not as bad as 2.
Really?
Really?
2 was fucking terrible. This was at least laughably bad. I had some
Ah.
laughs.
Honestly, the second one felt like, let's get as much money as I can out of this, because the first one was just.
Hey Daniel, I don't know if you noticed, there's a cat on the table.
So, what movies have you seen this year?
Wait, we saw movies?
What's a movie?
Something with
What
Lego
is a movie?
and The Thing and Deadpool somewhere. Hmm?
Is the new Lego movie out with Batman?
No, not yet.
I was gonna say.
Bear in mind, we haven't seen Rogue One yet, simply because it hasn't come out yet. That's next week.
Everybody's seen it. Alright, but they will have.
It will have.
They will
yes.
have at this point.
So,
our
our
list
best movie
May be updated.
or worst movie may be changed by next week.
Well, think of it this way: the next podcast we do, we just have to say to them, we're making an amendment to our best and/or worst list. And it's like we either all hated or all loved Rogue One.
We
And then
felt
we're like-
okay about it.
Yeah.
No, that'll be the next thing. We'll just come out with a brief amendment and say, all right, just to clarify our last podcast, we were kind of unimpressed. We didn't hate it. We didn't love it. It's just there.
Yeah.
Anyway, games.
Now, games. So,
All
Daniel,
right,
what has been the best game you have played this year?
Doom, probably.
Fuck yeah. Doom.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just. It reminds me
Of Doom.
how punishing it is to play like a pussy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very refreshing. It's exactly the type of gaming. It's exactly that. It is refreshing. This is how I was forced to play it back then, and it brings you it to do
It kind of
this
drags
way.
you into
yeah,
it. Yeah,
drags
it's like
you into it.
if you stay behind cover, you're gonna get
Yeah,
fucked up.
it reminds me of just good old fashioned,
See,
awesome gaming.
It was
that,
nice to have a game that rewarded my natural playstyle.
Yeah,
Because I'm very in your
Wolfenstein does
face.
that too as well.
yeah.
I remember there was like a
That's
list
been
I
out
saw.
for months, and
Yeah,
Doom
but I
only finally
remember-
put it back on my radar.
I remembered there was a while ago that there was like a top 10 list of games that tease you for playing like a pussy, and Wolfenstein was I think at one of them, like the top one, because the easiest one.
Yeah, can I play daddy? That's
Can I
what it
play
says.
daddy?
And it's
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
little
Baby
bonnet
thing.
and a
It was
and a
awesome.
little pacifier.
That's
No,
great.
You know what? I remember. Okay, there were a couple of things that when Doom first released, because I bought it day one, I started smashing it. I
We
loved
already
the game
have
out
like
of
a
it.
full podcast on Doom, I think.
No. I'm just saying, there's some personal
And Civil
experiences.
War. We're happy to talk
That's-
about them again.
Fuck it, they were that good. No, I've got a couple of experiences that I saw. Basically, a couple of things that I saw were the first within the first week. I remember Polygon got into a lot of, well, not that they got into shit, but they had a video of someone playing Doom for half an hour who just looked inept as fuck. And I remember Reddit tore him a new asshole. It was just like, look at this guy play. He can't aim. He was like, the monster was here, and he's like, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? That was the first thing. And then the second thing I remember is a lot of youngsters who grew up on COD, like.
That was brilliant.
That was amazing. Watching the threads go, oh, how do you play this game? Oh, it's so hard. It's
was
bullshit.
fucking-
Oh, and I'm just sitting there going,
And I'm just like this fucking.
To me, like, the reasons why whenever I played online I dominated the COD world and the fucking Halo world was because I grew up on Doom.
Yeah.
And a very aggressive, in-your-face playstyle will most of the time beat a guy hiding behind cover and freaking out about what to do.
it kind of fucks them up because they don't really expect it. No one
They choke.
expects you.
They
to,
literally choke.
Yeah.
Especially considering my best weapon in Halo, a game about guns, was the energy sword.
Yes.
And everybody got scared of me when I had that energy sword.
Oh, that was great.
But all of that comes from the original Doom, and the new Doom managed to feel classic but new at the same
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
it implemented.
It was very impressive.
I really liked what
But-
they did, where they implemented new systems like being able to upgrade your armor, get different alt fires for your weapons. That's new game design, but really they just kept that run and gun playstyle.
But I
Yeah.
have a different favourite for this year, though.
Alright, but before I end it, I will give special mention because Doom was up there. A very high contender was what was it? Inside by Playdead. It is one of the most beautiful games I've seen. The animation is impeccable, and for a story that has absolutely no dialogue.
He keeps whipping his tail into my drink.
For a game that has absolutely no dialogue in it, it is a masterpiece.
Mm.
Limbo was awesome. I highly recommend that too. But Inside by
I've never
Played it.
played Limbo, but I have. Well, she has.
yes,
But I've been seeing a lot of positive coverage for Inside. Lots of
it
good
is
stuff
a
for Inside.
masterpiece.
Mm.
Highly recommend it. But yeah, those are my two takes on the best games I've played this year. Fabian,
No, go to Aaron. Let Aaron
Alright,
have his
Aaron.
thing first.
go.
Far Cry Primal.
Oh, yeah.
That game
you've
fucking
taken every
renewed my
chance.
love for gaming. Like, it was something new, something different. They took a leap, and for me, it worked. The only people who were complaining about it were people who were like, it's just not like the other Far Cries.
No
And
fucking
you're like,
shit.
yeah, you
That's
didn't
what
want
makes it
identical carbon
good.
copies. That's why I fell out of touch with the Far Cry series, because it was becoming identical carbon copies, just changing the setting.
Mm.
And then Far Cry Primal, like, I was exploring because I wanted to explore, not because I wanted that little ding for the achievement, or because I wanted to fucking, like,
Mm-hmm.
it was a game when I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh, I've got about 15 minutes before I start getting ready. I can play 15 minutes of that game.
I
Most
know
of the
that
games,
feeling.
I'm like, if Doom, it was lovable, but to me, I'm like, I need a good hour or two to play Doom.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any contenders?
Like any honourable mentions or anything?
I quite enjoyed Rogue as well, surprisingly. Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Mm.
It wasn't bad. It was
That
a little
came out
bit
this
different
year?
as well.
No, it came out last year, but
I played it this year.
Oh,
he
yeah,
played
fair
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of good things about it. Although I heard it was a bit too short.
No, it's shorter than a like full on like Black Flag or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not the shortest in the series.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
But the other contender is probably the one I'm playing at the moment, Infinite Warfare.
Really?
Yeah, I like it.
Because I mean, I just remember.
It's again, I'm praising these companies for doing something different, because I get sick of the stale formula, and Call of
Yeah.
Duty's gone to space, and they may be borrowing something from every other company out there, like pretty much Mass Effect and every other, but they're doing it in their style. It's kind of like when your favorite musician covers another like band's song, but they do it in their
Yeah.
style,
Mm.
and that's how it's feeling to me.
Yeah.
High definition ice planets, and fucking starship chases through Venus's gas.
Yeah.
Shit.
Daft Punk
I didn't,
covering
I didn't
Tracy
know it
Chapman.
went that deep. Because for me, I decided to say fuck it. I'm going to stay out of shooter season 2016
It's been
because
a good season though. It was a bad season to stay out of.
Yeah, man, you fucked up.
wait, no.
The
Because
first time in years
what
I've
I
enjoyed
want-
multiple shooting games.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to just kind of give it away because Black Ops 3 left me disappointed. I played a stage and a half of that and I said, fuck that. I didn't, it's boring. Boring as fuck. Ghosts was the last really good one that I was like, fuck, that was amazing.
Advanced Warfare was terrible.
I didn't hate it, but it
I
wasn't Black
hated
Ops
the
3.
story because it literally resolved itself. Your character did not need to be there, and nothing your character did made any difference.
Mm. But for me, I wanted to stay out of shooter season. I thought, okay, out of all of them that were interesting, I wanted to get Titanfall 2. Mainly because I hadn't touched that series at all. Battlefield 1 didn't really impress me with its beta. I've heard nothing but good things since then. And Infinite Warfare, I thought, well, Black Ops 3 kind of burned me, so I'm going to wait and see. Maybe I'll pick it up on the cheap. And on top of that, then I saw, oh shit, Infinite Warfare made like a quarter of what it normally makes. So
To
I thought,
me,
I don't know if it's... But
to me, I
now
got
I've heard good
$120
things
and I got a remaster
of Modern Warfare as well.
Warfare
Yeah.
1 and a good game.
Mm. Well, that sounds good.
I'd love to play that remaster. That remaster would be
It's on
good.
Xbox, I can't really lend it to you. Get
Ah.
an Xbox, I'll lend it to you.
Yeah, really.
Is it like a disc or is it a download?
I'm gonna just save a little bit
It's
more
a
and get the
disc.
Xbox S because I don't think I have enough room on my shelf for a full-blown Xbox.
All right. If I had to go with my best game of this year, fuck, I played a lot of stuff. But
Like an 80s retro game you gotta bring forward.
You
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah, do
Funny
it.
enough, I probably will, and it'll be something that I played on Steam because I'm trying to remember now. You know what? Let me check my phone because I keep a list.
Because you don't remember what you played this year.
No, not that I don't remember
He
what I
hasn't
played
any
this
games
year.
this year.
No, I
Yeah.
have. I just remember there was a whole bunch of stuff that I bought. Some I've played, some I haven't. So, give me just 2 seconds.
Should we move on to our worst movies and come back to Fabian for both?
You guys, you've already said your worst movies, haven't you?
No,
I mean,
man.
games.
Games.
Ah, okay. No, those are ideas.
Alright.
All right. Well, welcome to the podcast number 10, starring Daniel and Aaron,
And Fabian's phone.
You guys are dicks. Give me a second.
and what looks like Fabian, but he's
And a
not
cat.
here. Yeah, and a cat. Starring Daniel, Aaron, and the cat.
Half a cat.
Aaron, good to have you on the show.
I want to see how much of the cat is in the film. Everything but the head.
Just chuck it.
Well, I'm going through my list at the moment. Unfortunately, some of these I have not even played yet. If anything, it's the stuff recently that I have. Because I remember earlier this year, I wasn't playing a lot of stuff. I don't know why. I think it was just that I was in a
Went
weird...
through a rut.
I went through a big rut somewhere between last year and around April of this year. I did not touch anything. I think Doom was where things started to pick up for me. It was around May, I picked up Doom, and all of a sudden, the world seemed bright again.
To me, that was Primal. I had it a few months earlier.
Uh-huh.
But, like, if Daniel's known me for years, like, how often have I been up to date in playing whatever the fuck comes out? I'm usually like, oh, good, a new game's coming out. Doom! I'm going to play the second one because I never got around to that. Something like that. But
you know what?
This year,
Yeah, that's what I did.
I've played, like, I played Doom, Primal, Call of Duty, Mirror's Edge. Like, I've been up to date on the new games.
Well, see, I think the year beforehand and a bit before that, like the last 2 years, I haven't really been up to date with a lot of games. Mainly because I spent a lot of time playing Destiny to just be severely disappointed at the end of last year when Taken King came out. That was... I mean, I'd already been having a bit of back and forth, and when that game dropped, I was excited, and then my just excitement zapped in 2 weeks, and I just completely disliked everything about it after that. Even the newest update, haven't touched it, but the good news is from May, I've just started playing all these old games. In anticipation for Doom, I started playing the original Doom trilogy. You know, so threw in the BFG edition. Still haven't played 3, got a little bit into 2, but played all of Doom 1. From beginning to end, loved the shit out of it. Played all of Duke Nukem 3D, loved the shit out of it. Then when Doom came out, this is a testament to how good Doom was. I wasn't sick of that genre. I'd already played 2 full games in that genre. Doom came out, destroyed that as well within a couple of days. Loved that to bits. I can't remember if there was anything that was really, really amazing. Like between May and now. I mean, I've already just realised that there are 2 games that I was incredibly disappointed with. Just
All right,
looking at
save
this.
them, yeah.
Alright, save them.
Just having a look at this, I'm like, yeah, shit. But, because some of these I bought and I didn't play. But what I have been playing recently, in the last maybe 2 months, Dragon Quest VII. I know you guys are probably not big into JRPGs. That is the first JRPG in years to suck me back in. And suck me in good. It's so simple.
There you have it. Dragon Quest likes to suck Fabian. Good.
It's so simple because you know how a lot of JRPGs in the last 10 years, they've gotten so convoluted? They're either too...
That's Square Enix's fault.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I
the
agree.
Final Fantasy
What do
13...
you mean one script? I want 50 and I want them to overlap.
Final Fantasy 13 pushed the Final Fantasy series
What do you
completely
mean,
off
one
to the
combat
side with me. Okay, so I was like, that's kind of boring. And every other JRPG that comes out was too anime, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the thing
Cliche.
is, it was so stupidly cliche. You had your Hyperdimension Neptunians, you had stuff that I didn't even realize was a series, and I'm like, this is just crap. And even the game systems were terrible. Dragon Quest VII brought me back. I mean, it's a remake. It's a remake of the first one, of Dragon Quest VII, which came out, late 90s. So it's got that pedigree going for it. But it was simple. It was good storytelling. It was good adventure. It was good travel. And that was stupid fun. And the other thing that that I've been playing a lot of is Elder Scrolls Online. I got into that, and I completely avoided it. I mean, I played it for maybe a month when it first came out. A year went past, didn't touch it, and then it was around June, July. I started playing it, and I was, wow, like, hooked in. When they did the one Tamriel update where you can go everywhere, man, I haven't been. It's been my crack. So that and Dragon Quest VII have possibly been the 2 best games I played this year.
All right, cool.
Special mention to Dragon Quest Builders, which has kept me going the last 4 days non-stop, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's not as good as the original, but it's a fun game regardless.
No, it is not.
I love that look on his face. I knew as soon as I brought up Rise of the Tomb Raider.
It wasn't good. It was so standard default Tomb Raider action, and it was just the way they overhyped it and oversold the fucking remake. It was just crap. And the areas were too big to actually get any genuine enjoyment out of exploring it. And all the backtracking they made you do just got pissy and annoying.
See, I'm not even up to that yet.
You played 10 minutes of it and you're telling me it's the best game of all time?
No, mate, that's hyperbole on your part. I never said it was the best game of all time. It's a special mention. But I'm playing it at the moment. And I'm up to the bit... I'm probably about 30% through the game. Because I'm up to the part where... Oh, what was it? I just escaped from the prison with Jacob. So after the train explosion. Everything I've played so far, it's not... It's like the first Tomb Raider, but polished gameplay-wise. But the pacing is all over the place. Because I started playing that game maybe 3 weeks ago. Played it for a day or two. Then I stopped. I played a whole bunch of other stuff in the meantime. And now I'm good, man. And I've only just come back to it maybe over the last 2 days. I think I just needed something to play. It's probably testament to the fact that I haven't played a lot of stuff this year. Because the only other things that I've got that I know I've picked up, I haven't played Titanfall or Battlefield or Dishonored or Watch Dogs. Haven't touched Destiny. Haven't touched Deus Ex just yet. Haven't touched Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Kirby was okay, but I don't think it's better than my current Tomb Raider play. You know? Overwatch was really good, but I haven't touched it in months. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Manhattan. That was fun, but it was really subpar for a Platinum game.
These are a lot of honorable mentions, by the way.
No, what I'm saying is I'm just trying to back up and explain to justify why I believe Tomb Raider's better. It's not great, and it definitely doesn't beat Doom, and it definitely doesn't beat Dragon Quest VII or ESO for my top games this year. But it's definitely one of the more fun I mean, think of it this way. I played Uncharted 4. I didn't even finish that. I wanted to love that game. I've loved the Uncharted series since it came out. Uncharted 1, brilliant. Uncharted 2, a little bit more of the same, but more polished, more explosions. Uncharted 3, I wanted to love that game with everything I had, and I walked away kind of subpar.
You're just talking the opposite to me. I thought 1 was pretty good, but felt a bit like a Tomb Raider ripoff, and that where 2 and 3 became their own games. And I actually really liked 2 and 3. 2 was the best one for me.
2 was my favorite.
3 was a good way.
3 was good, but it wasn't as good as 2. But to me, 2 was a damn near perfect game, so I couldn't really see what they could improve on.
3 felt forgettable to me. Even
I've
when
actually literally forgotten everything except one time going, ooh, with the haze in the desert, because it looked really pretty.
I just I just remember falling out of the plane at one point. So that's why I walked into Uncharted 4.
Forgettable.
Yeah, I walked into Uncharted 4 thinking, alright, cool, this is going to be the point that renews it. The first 2 chapters were good, then you go to Ireland, and then you end up in Madagascar, and I think it was, they pull up in the Jeep, and I'm like, I'll come back to this tomorrow.
Never did.
And I never did. That's it. I think I just remembered, and this isn't even a game I bought this year. Witcher 3. That game is sublime. You know what? I'm going to put that straight to the top of my list. That was better than Doom, better than
now
ESO.
we can finally move on.
Yes. better than Doom, better than ESO, and definitely better than Dragon Quest VII.
Definitely better than Tomb Raider.
Yeah, no, for sure. Leagues ahead of Tomb Raider. I completely
Wait till you
forgot.
get the fucking stupid, you get this little ridiculous attachment for Tomb Raider where you fucking throw a grappling hook. Nothing becomes a problem again. You don't have to make any jumps, because if you just miss, you just press the button and she'll...
Really?
Yeah, it ruined the whole game for me, pretty much. This mechanic that they make you have, it's part of the story, it's not optional. And once I kept telling myself, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to literally only use it for the parts where you have to swing across the gap with it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it on every fucking ledge when I fall off. Yeah. And it just became this natural instinct. Every time I dropped off a ledge, I'm like, oh! And it became almost the Prince of Persia can't die thing.
Yeah.
To me. And
it took away a lot of the challenge.
Okay. There was no challenge. The challenge tunes were the only part of that game I enjoyed.
I've done a couple of those. They
were way more fun. They were way more fun. But the same problem with the first one. Tomb raiding in Tomb Raider should not be optional side quests.
Well, for me, I had this discussion with someone recently. The beginning of Tomb Raider,
it's got a good
Rise
intro.
of the Tomb Raider.
It's got a very good intro.
See, I think the opposite.
We always think the opposite.
I actually
I'm
think.
surprised I don't hate Doom and Civil War.
Well, I guess
We
that's
do agree on
what
some really
makes
good
it
things.
that's what makes it interesting, because we agree on some things, despise other things, and then just back and forth. But with Rise of the Tomb Raider, I honestly found the first bit, climbing the mountain, and then Persia, just stock standard Uncharted fare, and I thought, where's your chance to wow me, Tomb Raider? Because with the first Tomb Raider, let me finish. With the first Tomb Raider, you get to the point where you're on the ship, you fall off, you start scavenging, and they introduce the gameplay loop fairly early, and that didn't feel as linear.
I liked the first one, but it wasn't Tomb Raider. It was a typical stock standard survival horror game. It wasn't. There was no tomb raiding.
Well, there wasn't any tomb raiding. It was just set in the same universe, and sometimes you need something a
set in
bit.
the same universe.
Well, no, it's
They rebooted the series and made the storyline from the old one non-canon.
yeah, but regardless, it's like it's still the same character. I mean, because let's be honest, they could have made that with something completely different.
Oh my god! That's better.
Oh man,
Second gunshot, she's fine. Like, oh no, I've had a brief moment breaking down over killing some guy, and now I'm on a murder.
Yeah, that was a
A
bit
murder
weird.
spree.
I was like, if it was just like a moment, like, but it was a good 5 minutes of her like, oh my god, what have I done?
You know what?
And then she's like,
And then
this lapses. This kind of crosses over into the point I was going to make about Tomb Raider. Okay, because.
now she's full badass.
Yeah. No. In Rise of the Tomb Raider, I don't know if you were following and reading and listening to all the documents. Did you do all of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to get the full story. They fucking cut half of it out.
That's what I was just about to get to. I started playing, and I was having this discussion with Tiff the other day. It was like, I didn't hate the intro, but it was very uninspired. It was like, oh, the whole doing this, climb the mountain 2 weeks earlier. Oh, we're in Persia. And I'm like, what is your fucking motivation? Last time I heard from you, you'd survived a harrowing thing on an island. And then you come back to this. And then I was like, that made me drop the game. Because I thought the opening part of the Siberian wilderness,
The
first bit of...
the overall storyline has some okay twists and turns. It's to be honest, I played it November last year because I got it on Xbox. I've already forgotten 90% of the game. It's very, very forgettable. And I remembered that, to me, the problem with the Uncharted's, the first one was too Tomb Raider, second one was its own game, the third one was too Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that was
Too
so
Indiana
last. That was
Jones.
so
It was-
Last
yeah.
Crusade. It was not
I'm
funny.
pretty sure they were after the same fucking treasure.
No, different treasure, but the
it felt like
dynamic
that.
between him and Sully
To me-
was almost identical.
To me, the Tomb Raider rebooted
Yeah.
to become something else, to get its own identity again,
Yeah.
to step out from the shadows of that
Uncharted,
other game. No, of its own games, its predecessors.
Oh, it's previous games. Yeah.
And then the Rise of the Tomb Raider just became a stock standard Uncharted adventure. It felt like Uncharted.
I will admit.
It felt like a really
from
poor man's Uncharted.
from the beginning that I played, and this is why I stopped playing it for 2 weeks. I came back to it recently when I had a bit of an open exploration kind of thing, and I was like, all right, cool. This is starting to feel not like Uncharted because I've got a bit of an open area to explore, different things to collect and shit like that. But there was one thing that was irking me the whole time, and I kind of sat there thinking, why? Okay, I'm getting a phone call. I think
When did Tiff leave?
she went to do the ticket. Anfo, can you go get Tiff from the thing?
We're doing a podcast, Tiff. That's just rude.
It's all right. I'll just ignore it. She'll know what to do. She'll know what to do. Okay. Anyway.
Alright, can we please move on from fucking Tomb
No,
Raider?
no, fuck
We're arguing
you.
here.
You brought this up. You have to sit here. You don't get to call the shots on the podcast.
How long are we on?
You unleash the monster. You do it.
This is the 53rd minute.
Well, you know what?
And
If-
about 20 of it is
then
being dedicated
let us finish. Let us get this point out, and then we'll continue on
I'm
to
going to
the...
say our own
Yeah.
bad games for the year.
Well, I haven't even gotten to bad games.
You know what?
either.
Because
You
you
live
listed
in
every
Wii.
game that exists.
Yes. You know what?
You know what? Do
You
you,
know
guys...
what?
Would you like to hear my opinion? Then fuck you.
Do
all
we
right?
have the time for that? Alright.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Can I
Summarize
wrap up?
opinions.
Yes,
Thank
please,
you.
wrap
Fuck,
it
I
up.
just want to get this Tomb Raider thing out, okay? There was one thing that irked me. There was no motivation for her character to do what she's doing.
No.
And it wasn't until I got the journal entries, and I just got that now, when you find out about Anna
Yeah.
and all that, where I thought to myself, okay, now, 5 to 10 hours into the game, you tell me why she's here. You couldn't have summarized that a lot earlier. And that's literally all I wanted to say, Daniel. Thanks for
Cool.
interrupting.
Now, my most hated game of this year,
No Man's Sky.
even though I have not played a single bit of it, but it is now my most hated game now, Tomb Raider. Because I'm not going to get that 23 minutes back out of this fucking podcast. That's why. Nah, really. Like No Man's Sky by far stuck out. The fact that you can have such a vast open space with nothing to do and no one to show off to. Yes, you can upgrade your gun. Yes, you can upgrade your ship.
But who gives a shit?
But who are you going to show it to? No one. That's who you're going to show it to. The only thing you can show it to is NPCs who don't really care. Who would all look like something out of a Daft Punk thing. And it's just... There's nothing to do. How could you do... Like... Honestly, if it's too easy... It's broken. It breaks you. It really does. It has broken me so many times. I die. It doesn't matter that I die. I beat these things that are too easy to kill. I actually have to fucking sit here and just with my thumb up my ass wait for them to kill me in order for me to get some excitement. And when I die, all my shit's intact, so it really doesn't matter that I died. Fucking like.
There was no, I was gonna say that No Man's Sky. That was on my list. Well, one of two games that I hated this year. Well, not hated, but my most disappointing.
Mighty Number 9?
No, this one's...
this is infinitely worse.
Honorable mentions here, because otherwise you're both going to pick the same game.
Alright, let's see. Honorable mention. This is going to be hard because I've actually played pretty decent games. That one in particular, is kind of fucked everything up. Because the potential was there. That's the most heartbreaking thing about it. It has the ingredients to do great, but it just does not. It's just... It's a waste of a game, really. It's... it makes me want to drink. I can't think of any honorable mentions now. But until then...
When we shut up.
But until then, I'm throwing Tomb Raider in there. So... Aaron, what's your worst game of the year?
What's the worst game you played this year?
I haven't played a lot of bad ones this year that came out this year, but this year I played Dragon Age 2. What a fucking terribly broken game that is. No love was put into it. It was just broken at a fundamental level. It felt like playing a clunky PS2 game, and it was a PS3 game. It was uninspired. The story was all over the place. They had to have 4 storylines to fill out a fucking game. And to me, I'm just like, I look at it and I'm just shocked that people like cosplay as these people and love and respect these characters. Like, I'm like, why? Why? How did you not hate the game?
I don't know. Maybe were the characters cool at least? Because it
They
could
were
be
very,
just a case of...
Most of them were
yes,
very...
the game was shit, but
yeah.
the characters were cool.
Most of them were very one-dimensional. Very one-dimensional. 1 or 2 were decent. There was a little elf chick called Meryl who was insane, and I liked her. But apart from that, I don't think I liked any of them. Most of them, like... Oh, I like my dog, but he doesn't say anything, and you get to name him. And because, like... so I'll tell you a story. The first Dragon Age, my dog was called Potato. And I loved it because he looks like a bull mastiff essentially. He's this big Mabari hound, and he comes up behind you and it's got a label over his head that says Potato. So in honor of that dog, I called my dog in the second one Sweet Potato.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I liked Potato.
I like Potato too.
But but in the first game you would very rarely use the dog because the just so many better characters to use, and it wasn't that he was a bad character, it was just your options were so good. My party in Dragon Age 2 was essentially limited to maybe usually that's alright, it's just a bottle hitting the cat.
it's just a cat.
It was usually the character they forced upon you for the quest, because they always forced you to have someone and then 2 other people, and the 2 other people, it wasn't even a choices, you needed both mages.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
See, I played Rise of the Tomb Raider last year, and it wasn't bad. It's just very forgettable, and they have so much culture and history to build upon with the Tomb Raider that they could have done a lot better. Especially considering it's supposed to be better. And to be honest, like I played a lot of Tomb Raiders. I put it just above Angel of Darkness as the second worst one, but but because the other ones are solid. The other ones are pretty good.
Yeah, I liked when I did play the originals. I played 1 and 2; they were great.
3 was good. You got to choose what order you did the missions in, which made you.
I never played 3, but that would have been
3 was
interesting.
pretty cool. 4 was really good. It was back in Egypt, and you were basically you accidentally released a god in the opening, so you're trying to put it back in.
Yeah, and then apparently it's ends with her death.
Yeah, her death. And then Chronicles was very forgettable.
Yeah,
it's probably that's below Rise of the Tomb Raider, but still above Angel of Darkness.
Yeah,
that was a terrible piece of shit.
I never played Angel of Darkness, but I've just heard the worst about it.
The Anniversaries remake was good, and
there was Underworld.
Legends and Underworld were both good, and it didn't. To me, a revamp should be at least as good as what it's trying to revamp. You know, especially game wise, not so much movie wise, but game wise. Why are you redoing it if you can't do it better?
This could possibly explain our divide then, because I haven't played anything from 3 through to the reboot. So I played 1 and 2, and then
the reboots.
I've
been a Tomb Raider fan the whole time. I think that's probably our Zelda divide too.
I've
been there the whole time.
I've played all the Zeldas. I think there's only 2 that I haven't, and that's Spirit Tracks and Link Between Worlds. So I played everything else.
But you've been playing them since the 80s.
No, since Link to the Past.
But that's the early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s.
I only started picking them up about high school.
Yeah, it was around.
So I've condensed all my Zeldering into
98. 98 was think that was the first one.
Actually, I played Ocarina in 98.
Yeah, so I played Link to the Past just a bit before that. So it was Link to the Past, then Ocarina.
But I played Ocarina and then I had a 10-year break.
Ah, right. That would explain it. You know what? That could explain a lot of stuff.
During that 10-year break, I played Ocarina a few more times, and then I discovered the sequel and played that, and it was not good.
I know I need to replay Twilight Princess for sure, and I need to give the first 2 a shot. Zelda 1 and 2?
Yeah.
On the NES.
I've still not played 2. I've played 1.
Yeah.
I got lost about halfway, but not because... it was with the save points on the Virtual Console.
Yeah, so
I saved it and turned it off. I left it for 3 months before I turned it back on.
And you're like, where the hell am I?
Because there's no quest markers, and I'm like, I literally do not know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then because I remembered all the hard shit I'd done to get up to that point, I'm like, I don't want to restart.
Alright. Your worst.
First of all, I'm just going to say one thing. Because Daniel was an ass, I have to finish up what I was talking about beforehand.
God damn.
Is it about Tomb Raider?
No, it's not.
In that case, yeah, go for it.
I was about to mention something else after Tomb Raider, but as soon as Aaron said something about, no, it's not that good, you knew that had to resolve itself. Okay? So, Tomb Raider put it aside. I did want to make an honourable mention for some of the better games I played this year, which was only 2, luckily. Fuck you.
Tomb Raider?
No, you guys have already heard that I really love Doom, I love Dragon Quest, etc., etc. Witcher 3 was my top. But 2 Steam games that I played, that the instant that I started playing them, Overcooked was really fun.
Yeah. Overcooked is probably the best arcade game I've played this year. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
And we had a 4-player thing, and we just
it's a lot. It's just fun, and
I really got to play 4-player with you guys.
Yeah, we'll have a go.
Yeah, that's fun.
But I can't believe I forgot about it.
Yeah, you know what? It's sometimes some good stuff just flies under the radar, and you know what? These are 2 Steam games, and the only reason I remembered them is because I mentioned that I played Duke Nukem as well. I played Gunpoint. And I played Odalus the Dark Call. See, I don't think either of you would know them, but Odalus was essentially Dark Souls meets Castlevania. So fucking...
Sort of a joke.
What, really?
Are you saying Odalus didn't stink?
No, it was way better than that. It was basically Dark Souls aesthetic, so not in difficulty, meets... or in lengthy gameplay session, but... Dark Souls aesthetic meets Castlevania style exploration. I loved the world. It was very Berserk, as in Berserk inspired. Played that for a solid week straight. I would come home from whatever I was doing. First thing I did, boot up my laptop and play it. And, as I mentioned, Gunpoint. Threw that in one night because I was a bit bored. 4 hours later, it's like 3 in the morning.
One of those, where did my time go?
Yeah, where did my time go? And I finished the game in one sitting, but the experience was so well done. I mean, it's essentially a puzzle game where you have stretchy Inspector Gadget style pants that you throw yourself out of buildings in. It's weird. It's hard to describe because it's kind of like a noir story, but that one is also an honourable mention. Okay?
I want to give an honourable mention to a game that I've had for ages, but only really started playing this year. Super Meat Boy.
Yeah,
it is the Dark Souls of platform games.
Yes.
And I fucking finished it.
You finished
You
it
what?
all the way through.
Not through the Dark World.
Oh, right. I was going to say, shit, man.
I could, I just don't have the time to devote to it.
Yeah, no.
When you go through the entire game, and I've gone through the game, I did the stupid fucking Cotton Alley with the meat girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you come back, those nightmare stages are very simple again.
Yeah.
Because you've reached that level,
Mhm.
and it's got a good learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I started almost every level by going, that's fucking impossible.
And
Fuck
then-
off.
and then you figure
you're
it out.
suddenly doing it. Not just doing it once, doing it on repeat because you're having trouble with the jump afterwards.
And then I just love how you show that
All the
one,
deaths.
or the, and it just kind of funnels itself into that last two that you get to the end. And like,
No, mine
yeah,
was usually 45 people dying on the fucking first obstacle and then one dude having this massively awesome run.
all right. So I would have to say, I know what Aaron's going to say about this. My honourable mention I'll use first because it was No Man's Sky. Mainly because I watched Tiff play it for a day straight. And I was sitting there doing other stuff on my laptop and I was just watching it going, I don't hate you, but that's because I haven't played you. Maybe I should play you. And then I played it for an hour and a half, got to the first space station and went, what do I do now? I can go back down to the planet and learn more alien language, but why? So that I can talk to this fuck who will sell me materials that I will find on the planet. I'm like, what is... The gameplay loop is what shits me the most about that game. There is no reason for me to be here or be doing this. I'm interested in the update that they're coming out with, which is going to be... They're coming out with an update, the next big patch, where you can actually construct bases and there's more fauna and there's more things to fight.
Is it free?
Yeah. It's a free update.
I guarantee you when they were making this, it did not start off as free.
No, I'm almost willing to bet it was paid DLC, and then after the backlash they have had since June or July when it came
Does
out.
anyone still have copies of this game?
No, I sold mine immediately.
I still have my copy, but only because I'm curious and I say, fuck it, I've already paid money, I may as well see where this ride takes me. But
Again, you can build your own base, but why? You have no one to show off to.
multiplayer's coming as well. That's going to be one of the next updates as well.
It's too late.
Battered wife syndrome.
It is.
I know, right?
I'm not going to say I out and out hate the game, but it is most definitely one of the most disappointing. But it pales compared to my most disappointing game. Because at least with No Man's Sky, it was a new IP.
You get what you pay
Is
for.
it Sonic?
No, there's been no Sonic games this year. No, if I'd played Sonic Boom this year, then I'd have a number one contender to... No, Sonic Boom I played last year
And
for
it
about...
still made it into this
for
year.
about
That's how bad it is.
for about 30 minutes, and I said no. And I play every Sonic game, man. No.
Alright, what is it?
See, with No Man's Sky, it's not an established IP. So you can kind of go, well, that was a lot of hype and no trousers. It is that. No, for me, and I want to make this clear, I didn't hate it when I was playing it. Okay? In fact, I had a fairly decent run of it for the week that I played it. But in retrospect, I think back and I think it is the most wasted potential.
This is killing me.
It is the most wasted potential and loss of an IP.
I will glass you if you don't tell me what this is.
Star Fox Zero. Such a wasted game. I mean, I played it at the demo at EB Expo last year. It wasn't that bad, okay? And then I played it and I thought, man, these controls are wonky as fuck. The story kind of kept me going. The action that worked kept me going. But then it would just... You know what? It was
Platinum's really disappointed you this year.
two
Wow.
games, man.
And you're a Platinum fanboy.
I
Yeah,
fucking
man.
love Platinum. And no, it's like a
Having a
toddler.
bad year.
You know what? Star Fox Zero is like a toddler. It takes a couple of steps and you think it's going to be fine, and then it falls over and shits its pants. That is literally how Star Fox Zero did to me this year.
Chicken Walker just becomes even more pathetic.
I mean, it's such a waste of an IP. See, No Man's Sky gets a pass, sort of, because...
Star Fox has been basically trying to dig its way out of the grave since fucking Violet Wars on the 64.
It's like someone
And it
cut off his
hands.
hands.
It kind of gets a hand up above the surface every now and then.
And then someone just
And then
dumps a
somebody's
dump
like,
truck
"Oh,
full of
shit,
fucking...
what are we doing?"
Like, quick, bury that. And it's still not as bad as what they've done to Metroid, which is nothing.
The last real title of Metroid
If
was good.
anyone wonders, it's Tiff crying in the background. She's a massive Metroid fangirl.
Look, Nintendo, you've destroyed a Metroid fan and a Zelda fan this year.
And a
Who's
Star Fox
next?
fan.
And a Star Fox fan.
Mario. Well, they come out with Mario Run now.
Yeah, that looks okay though.
I know, it's a little tap game. But no, the last Metroid game that was Metroid was Other M, which...
I like that.
I didn't hate it, but it got a lot of negativity.
Yeah,
I
but
remember
most
that.
people were like, it's fucking 2D. And I'm
No, it's
like,
not.
huh?
It's not fucking 2D.
No, so a lot of the puzzles was the
Yeah, no.
sideways.
There's
They
that,
were
but
complaining about those sections and complaining about it being third person. They're like, they should have stuck with the first person
with the Metroid
formula.
Prime stuff.
And
yeah.
I'm like, that's Metroid Prime. That was fine, but this is not. This is back to its roots.
What got me the most, and for me, the other thing that ruined
Storyline
Metroid
was
M,
convoluted a
yeah,
bit.
storyline was
Yeah.
convoluted, characters were unbelievable, and that's what broke it.
I like the gameplay.
I'm the pixel.
Oh yeah, there were a couple of moments where you had to do a Myst-style puzzle where you had to find one tiny little splotch like 30 meters away, and you couldn't tell because of the texture. But I haven't even touched.
I don't know this problem.
I haven't even touched this new Federation Force. It's a fucking spin-off game.
It's not Metroid without Samus.
I know. No. Apparently Samus is in it, but she just left before you got there.
Oh, okay.
Fucking.
Oh, come on.
No,
man.
literally every cutscene that comes up is like,
It's the
oh man,
Camp Krusty.
yeah. It's like, hey, you know what? You would have really loved if you'd been here 10 minutes ago. Samus was just here and she was helping us clean up this planet, and you got to do the last bit, and she's gone to the next planet.
Now she's gone to fight Link in a castle.
Yeah, that's essentially it. And you just kind of sit there going, well, fuck, it would have been nice if she'd stuck around for like some tea or
couldn't
some
afford it?
sandwiches or some shit.
She heard you were coming. That's why she left.
Yeah. Oh, and I think that was just that for me was the worst spin-off next to
That
Triforce
sounds
Heroes.
fucking
Apart from
horrible,
it not being in
actually.
it though, is it okay or
I haven't played it, but
it's just that?
just that. I'm just like, are you serious?
Because a few of the mates that I've known that have played it with a friend
So
or two,
the
they said
actual
it's
gameplay's
okay.
fun?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I tried to like.
Was the gameplay okay or you didn't play
I didn't fucking pick it up.
Well, then why is no one playing this game and complaining about it?
Because it's not. Because we would have preferred an actual Metroid game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have preferred an actual Zelda game, but they decided to make Minecraft meets Shadow of the Colossus, and everyone's fanboying about it.
You know what? We agree to disagree. That's it. That's pretty much it.
All right.
But those have to be my worst and my honorable mention. Star Fox. Why? They even
That should be
gave.
the next title.
They even
Star
gave.
Fox Y.
They even
They
gave
do
you
that
to
with Pokemon,
platinum.
Pokemon Y.
Star Fox X.
They gave you to platinum, and even platinum couldn't stop you from shoehorning in that shit. Oh, okay, I'm done.
All right. Well, let's
I think I know Platinum's problem. They were overconfident this year. They're like, Star Fox, that hasn't been good for years. We can make it good.
No.
And then they're like, what about Ninja Turtles?
We can make that
property's
good.
basically been spiraling in the brain for years. We'll fix it. Both at the same time? Yes.
Well, the way
We're failed, guys.
I had this conversation about platinum with a friend recently.
They released Bayonetta 2 as
not
well
you,
in
not you
a
two.
very short time.
No, Bayonetta
Yeah.
2 was the end of 2014. That was
14?
the last really,
Yeah, it was,
really good
actually.
one.
I've
Because
had that on my shelf for 2 years and not played it.
I've been meaning to get around to it, that's one, but Transformers was really fun.
Which one?
Transformers
Yeah,
Devastation.
they-
Yeah,
it's
that
free,
was
and
really
that's why I
fun.
played it.
Yeah, that was fun. No, you know where they started to go wrong, and this is what I was talking about. The team that makes Bayonetta is Team Little Angels. So that's like a sub-team that they have in Platinum. And they've been putting their other team on the Activision properties. So Legend of Korra, Transformers Devastation, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were all handled by one team, and it they're like their B squad. So
Okay.
Transformers was good, Turtles went downhill.
Sounds like how Assassin's Creed, only every second one is good because they have the main team and the...
That's exactly it. I don't know which team made Star Fox, but I have a feeling.
It's the B team.
Well, maybe
What
even
the
if
fuck are the A team doing?
you know what,
They made Bayonetta and now
no,
they're pretty.
I'm pretty sure the A team is working on Scalebound. The
Okay.
A team would be working on
Ah.
Scalebound and Nier. I didn't know that they're making Nier Automata for Square Enix.
Ah.
So Nier is getting a very Platinum-esque style fighting system.
Nice.
But I still say
It's not convoluted enough with Square Enix on there.
Nintendo, why did you shoehorn in those Wii U controls? Just fucking put it on a stick. It could have been good. It could have been good. Oh my god. Alright, I'm alright
On
now.
that, we'll end it. This has been an interesting year.
Nintendo's motto this year, they'll like it, we'll make them like it.
People will like what I tell them to like.
Oh, just one note I want to leave on.
Yep.
I don't know if I tagged you in this the other day. Maybe I did.
Just leave it at that.
Okay.
I tagged.
I may or may not
Nintendo Switch. Did
Yep.
you see Nintendo take that to the Jimmy Fallon show?
No.
No? They actually had some gameplay. it looked fairly seamless because Fallon had it. He was playing with it. On a proper controller. It was on a screen behind him, and what amazed me is that when he picks it up, like Reggie's there, doing his thing, he goes, "Yeah, you can take it." He literally just picks it up straight out of the cradle, off, right on the screen, exactly where he is. Like no pause, no nothing, seamless. Now I don't know if that's just a lot of propaganda and bullshit, but that looked pretty impressive when he was just able to. Okay, cool. Now I can go wherever the hell I want to play this, and I was like, I'm interested. I'm still saving my cards on that because there's so much that could go wrong, and Nintendo hasn't impressed a lot with consoles.
I'm waiting to hear from the people that aren't sponsored by Nintendo.
Same.
Jimmy Fallon doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who wouldn't sell out.
Yeah.
That's why everything I'm hearing, I'm taking with a grain of salt. I like the trailer. There's a lot of cool stuff on display. There's a couple of questions, and my main question right now is how long.
That sounds horrible. Stop it.
How long is the battery life going to be on that thing?
That's the main thing.
That's the main problem I have.
If they don't have a good battery life, they've essentially just reinvented the Wii U.
Exactly.
You have to have that fucking thing plugged in. You can't play it for more than 20 minutes without its battery thing.
Exactly. From what I'm seeing, it looks like it's going to be a merger. I have been rewatching some of our old podcasts, and I want to say, Nintendo, thank you for giving me a console I can take with me to the toilet. You listen to our podcast, and I appreciate it. Do you remember when I said I would like to take my Wii U tablet with me to poop so that I can sit there and fucking play Smash Brothers while I'm doing my business? They did it with the Switch.
Did I tell you
Thank you so much.
Did I tell you to get a 3DS back then?
No, you didn't, because I already had the 3DS. Yeah. But no, I want to play my console. So the fact that I can take it with me and I can play, I appreciate that. Now, give it a good battery life, and you may have sold me.
So if you just take the idea behind the Wii U, and just give it the 3DS's battery life.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fucking yeah, do that.
That's it. That's all you need.
Because essentially,
the 3DS, I often only run out of battery with surprise because it's been 4 days since I charged it.
I know.
And I'm always angry. I'm always like,
sleep mode.
motherfucker. And I'm like, wait, when was the last time I charged this?
Oh, it was a week ago.
4 months ago. Fuck. I'm like, actually, I started this game off a 3DS that I picked up. Like, I started a new game out of a 3DS that I picked up out of the cupboard. I don't know the last time it was charged before that, and I'm complaining that after 4 hours of gameplay, it's died.
Well, see, that's why for me, biggest issue right now is the battery life and the cost, because
and the comfort. Those sticks need to be a bit more comfortable because that Wii U is bulky and it doesn't feel like every other Nintendo control, love it or hate it throughout time, has been comfortable.
Has been okay.
The GameCube it didn't look comfortable, but you pick it up and you're like, oh.
Tiff is still terrified of the GameCube controller.
It scares me.
Yeah, she goes, that thing has too many buttons. Yes, but it's comfy as fuck. And the Nintendo 64 controller was so comfortable.
The wireless versions of the Nintendo GameCube controller are incredibly awkward and bulky because there's a large
big
battery pack.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, but you can't really do much about that.
So Nintendo, get on that. Make sure it's got a good battery life because I don't want to be sitting there playing Breath of the Wild and then fucking want to take it with me on a trip and then it dies in 20 minutes because that will just be a shit of a system.
You can play it on the train for a minute and a half.
Yeah. See, that would ruin it for me. If I honestly get that and they say, yeah, you know what, this great thing, it's got the worst battery life ever, and I'm like, why did you even bother joining
style battery life?
Yeah, why did you bother joining your console and your handheld? That was the premise behind this. We want to merge consoles and handhelds into one object so we don't sell two separate things.
All right, we gotta
sell them as two separate things.
We gotta end this because we're pushing way over an hour.
Okay, that was my last thing. I just wanted to mention the Switch, but I wasn't sure if you'd seen the footage.
Aaron, do you have any last words for this year?
This year overall has been pretty damn good to us as gamers and movie watchers.
Yeah, I'd say.
On the whole, better than the last couple of years. A lot of companies have realised that they can't... we went through this phase where they just kept repackaging the same shit, handing it to us, and everyone was like, ah! Now people are like, hey... This is that sandwich. This is that first apple I didn't want.
I know. Look,
then it's a whole lot of companies where they've changed in drastic directions, or just done a couple of little improvements, but they've been things that gamers have been asking for a long time. Mm-hmm. Like just tiny little improvements that
it's taken them ages to cotton on. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Because you're probably going to ask me what my final words are.
Yeah, what are your final words?
I agree 100% with Aaron that 2016 as a year. I mean, if we disregard everything political and social in the world,
Yeah,
because-
movies and
Fuck
video
that
games.
bullshit.
Nah,
are
that-
what this
that
podcast
doesn't-
is about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
fuck
doesn't matter.
That can
Okay,
fuck right
but
off.
yeah, movies have been pretty good. I can't say I've really seen any really horrendous movies. Apart,
First year I've had to think as to which game and movie were my worst.
yeah,
Yeah.
apart from, well, I didn't have to think far for that. Star Fox disappointed me.
Me neither.
No, apart
I
from
didn't play either of them because
Hey.
I never jumped on the No Man's Sky bandwagon because
Yeah.
I'm like,
You have
17
taste.
billion planets. Why?
well, I'm gonna say, apart from the shit we watch in BMR, I don't really watch bad movies. Although, Jack Frost 2 is the worst fucking thing I've seen this year, if we count that. But no, I agree with him. Movies, games, really good. And I was gonna just touch on what he mentioned about how companies were just kind of re-shilling stuff. Assassin's Creed, they stopped the yearly release thing because I think finally enough companies got so much backlash. People were finally getting sick of being rorted, and they just said,
It's competition again.
Yeah.
The independent people are rising up,
Mhm.
and these big Activisions and fucking EA can't
And
just
Ubisoft.
release the same. Ubisoft
Yeah.
can't just release the same shit and have it sell.
well, they
Have a
fixed
look,
up...
Call
they-
of Duty, even though they've done some good stuff and they've done some new stuff, it didn't sell well.
No, it didn't.
Hmm.
But
I-
I just wanted to say one last thing. It's like I want to bring up the case of Square Enix. Mainly because they were having a really weird period for a while as well, and they've started to pick up their game. Mainly, and I just want to say that the beginning of this generation, which is, 2014, and that's where it was all pretty dark, that's where fucking companies had no idea what to do. I was looking into it. I'll keep it brief. Companies had no idea what to do. So what they were trying to do was, fuck it. Do you remember how there were a lot of remasters in 14, 15? Lots of games that were like, oh, look at our HD remix,
Still
look at that.
remastering now. That's still going on.
Oh, but
It's not this year.
We're,
No, but
we're at the tail end of it now.
Yeah, they're good
Yeah,
remakes.
because you notice how in 2014-15 there were no new games, it was mostly remasters. It's because companies
Fucking
were...
Nintendo and their HD Wind Waker and Zelda is all they bring out on Twilight Princess was all they bring out on the Wii U as far as Zelda went.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much because, like I said, companies had no idea where to go, and they thought that the console market was dying and tapering off to a point where it was going to be PC only, and everything was merging to that one singularity. Turns out that console gamers really fucking want consoles, and they just said, shit, we fucked up, and then they scrambled for the next 2 years to start bringing it, and that's why we're getting good stuff this year. You know, and same thing, and yeah, that's why I wanted to, that's the last thing I wanted to bring up. But go on, it's all
You know
yours.
what? This year has been, I think, better for games than it has been for movies, in my
For
mind.
sure, yeah.
But that being
I don't
said-
know. For the last few years, I could maybe name one good movie. I never had to thought about what was the best movie of the year because there was only one,
Yeah, that's
and it
true.
was usually the Marvel movie that came out that year. This one, the Marvel movies have picked up their game, but they're coming from both channels now.
Yeah.
The Fox are making some good ones. The X-Men have been okay the last few, and the Deadpool was fucking awesome.
Mhm.
Now you've got Fantastic Four. Shit. Sorry. But
They
now
don't know what to
you've
do
got
with it.
2 channels of Marvel movies coming out. You've got I've looked at the trailers for a couple of the upcoming DC movies, not the existing ones, but Wonder Woman doesn't look half bad. It doesn't look terrible.
I'm skeptical on that one still.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But
Be very
I
cautious.
looked at the trailer for Batman vs Superman and had no hope from the start.
Mhm.
Like there was never any. Oh, this looks good. I'm like, what the fuck, CG Doomsday,
Mhm.
and it looked
Yeah.
terrible. I'm like, the only
Type
way
A
that I could
CGI
convince
monster.
myself that it was all going to be okay was maybe it's not finished yet. Maybe they're still rendering him.
Anyway,
Wait, Daniel, just remembered something.
yeah,
Broforce and Needhog, best multi thing we've had this year.
yes, by
Yes.
far.
And Overcooked, I'm not forgetting it. Those are probably my 3
I
best
actually
multis.
really want to play some.
But wait,
right
let's
now.
go back to our argument about Tomb Raider.
Alright, no,
Okay, go
fuck
on.
you. In regards of games,
Make this a 2-part
this year
podcast.
has been actually been pretty good. Like I agree with Aaron 100% in that a lot of these big ass companies are really taking good risks in my mind, and I think everyone agrees here. The people who are bitching about it are the people I don't particularly care about.
Just didn't want change.
Yeah, the cookie cutters, you fucking jerks. I've been very very happy with what games have been coming out. And I've been particularly good with what movies have been pretty. Just keep this ball rolling.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
No
keep
more, no
this
more.
shit up.
Just no more Ghostbusters and no more RoboCop remix. That's pretty much it.
But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much us done.
Yeah,
So
I think that's it. That's it for the year, isn't it?
yeah, that is
we're
it
we're
for
not
the
doing
year.
anything else until January.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So,
So, last message.
no, that's pretty much. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and paying attention to our shit.
No matter how retarded and Tomb Raidery it gets.
I will definitely introduce more things to the channel next year. I'm not going to tell you what, but I've got a few ideas that I'm going to talk to these guys
Never
outside the
ever
camera.
do we get asked
No,
about this
we
shit.
never get told.
I never
shit.
I actually
agreed to
had
do a podcast.
I talked about this earlier with you in the morning, but we'll
You
talk
said, "Can you?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess I can." You never said if I wanted to.
about, like, yeah.
You know what I'd like to see a return to? Fabian's pile of shame that never happened after that 2 episodes.
Yeah,
I've
I'm,
got-
Is
I'm
it
definitely
ironic
getting back in it.
that Fabian's pile of shame has become a source of shame amongst the group?
I know. No,
It's something we don't talk about. We sweep it under the rug.
Daniel just. But you know what I find really funny? After Daniel did the whole pile of shame thing, I actually started playing more games. So I have less of a pile of shame. So haha.
Hey, I did you a favor.
You kind of did, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But seriously, we
So-
we have footage to get back to.
We will get back to that. But on that note, yeah, that's pretty much us done for this, and we will see you,
Matt.
Matt.
You.
Yeah, you, Matt,
And this cat.
and the cat,
Twas my hat.
who's also called Matt.
Wait, my hat's called Matt.
Yes. We will see you in 2017.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Goodbye, everybody.
Machalam.